Welcome back to Jack of All Games Tabletop. I'm Dave Wallace, and it's time for another board game review. Today's game is about a year old. It's new to me, and could be to you also, but I think the timing is really good considering we do have this remastered video game coming out, and also the second season of the series coming out on Max this week. So we are talking about The Last of Us Escape the Dark series. Very cool game, but it's going to be hit or miss for people who are die-hard fanatics when it comes to the video game. Of course, you may not love it as much, but we'll get into all of that. But first, 2 weeks ago, I announced on my channel the second quarter board games giveaway, and yeah, we're doing a board game review, so why not? Let's do board game giveaway. Take it away, Dave.
All right, yeah, thank you, Dave. It's time for another board game giveaway, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go back 2 weeks on my channel to the video that says free board game giveaway for the second quarter, because you're missing out. All you gotta do is subscribe and comment on that video. It's real simple. Somebody today is getting, where is it? Tiny Epic Vikings. No charge, no shipping, nothing. Just getting sent out to you as soon as you reply to my comment that I'm going to leave. So I'm going onto my number generator. We had like 27 comments. So, okay, so the number is number 2. That should be pretty easy for me to find. So let me scroll down. Okay, there it is. Amerikef J. Looks like you're new to the channel and paid off. So congratulations on that. I'm going to reply to your comments, and you can email me and give me your shipping address. Congratulations. And yeah, like I said, if you don't know what's going on, I still got more games this quarter to give away. This one was for April, but yeah, I've got games sitting at the house for May and June, so they're ready to go. So yeah, get on there and subscribe and comment on that video, and you have your chance. Get back to the board game review. Back to you, Dave.
All right, so congratulations to that person for winning that game. Anyway, yeah, let's get into our review for The Last of Us. Like I said, a lot of people who are die-hard fanatics of the video game, they might want everything to look and feel exactly like a video game. I say, why? Let's do something different. Let's do something new. And I really dig this Escape the Dark series. If you've followed any of the other games by Themeborne and the Escape the Dark, they have Escape the Dark Castle, Escape the Dark Sector, and I haven't actually gotten into those yet, but this game is actually encouraging me to do so. So let's talk about this game. We'll start, as we always do, with a theme. So from Themeborne Ltd, and of course Naughty Dog as well. 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, 60 to 120 minutes. This is The Last of Us.
Powered by the latest evolution of the Escape the Dark system, The Last of Us Escape the Dark offers solo and co-op multiplayer modes, allowing up to 5 players to experience this iconic setting in a brand new way. Playing as a group of survivors, you will weave your own unique story of survival and companionship as you explore an open-world map. Beginning your journey in a forsaken quarantine zone, your goal is to travel to the reputed safe haven of Jackson, while keeping everyone in the group alive. Carefully plot your route through the troubled landscape, resolving immersive chapter cards at each location to gain vital information, weapons, and equipment. Survival will depend on making difficult choices and tactical use of item cards, and custom character dice to overcome a variety of threats, including hunters, Fedra agents, and the dreaded infected. Endure and survive.
So there you go, that's the theme of the game. And as I'm, always with these theme little videos that I put in these, the description of the game usually either comes right off the box, or in this case, it came from the Board Game Geek website from the producers of the game, their description of it. And feel like they're a little bit fast and loose with the term open world. Not open world to me, but that doesn't take away from whether or not I enjoy the game. It's just a little bit of odd description there, but yeah, very fun game, very thematic, and again, we'll get into more as we get into the different topics. I really dig the look of this and the quality of it. It's something a little bit different, so let's find out what's in the box.
What's in the box? In the box for The Last of Us Escape the Dark, you will find 1 game board, 12 ammo dice, 5 hit dice, 42 chapter dice, 6 survivor dice, 6 survivor boards, 52 cubes, 6 survivor tokens, 28 threat tokens, 6 boss tokens, 1 survivor calendar marker, 1 infected calendar marker, large chapter cards for downtown, suburbs, sewers, lakeside, university, and bosses. Large cards for location clear and rules reference. Small cards for special abilities, items, starting weapons, stashed items, craft items, upgraded weapons, camp, and the QZ.
Okay, so up next is the aesthetics. So for me personally, I really dig the aesthetics of this game. I am, as an artist myself, of many different types. Talked about it on this channel many times. One of the things that I actually really enjoy doing is black and white pen and ink illustration. I've had some of my work published in a few different books before, and so the style of art that goes with this is really cool. I think it's got a nice, bold, stark image to everything. Just the theme of the company staying with the black and white. I get it. It definitely sets a mood. It sets them apart from other game companies. Like I said, very stark, very bold on your table. I would say one thing about that, when you're putting your game away, make sure you slide your hands on the board so you didn't forget any tokens or anything that blended in. It's not like they're gonna stand out because everything's black or white. I do like the illustration when it comes to the art in the cards. Also, the quality of the components in the cards, everything is actually a really nice quality. Some people might think that by going black and white that they've kind of cheaped out or something, but no, everything's actually a really nice quality to this. So aesthetics, I gotta say, yeah, I really dig it. So we go on to ease of instructions, and I have to talk about this one a little bit because it made me realize some things about myself. Technically, when I boil down my answer, actually the ease of instructions is really good. There was just some simple things that I kind of let get in my way, along with letting a bad review kind of get in my way as well. What I mean by all this is the way you learn how to play can really affect how easy the instructions are. Some people can sit down and just read an instruction booklet and then they start playing and they just kind of gather the information. I can't really learn that way. I learn by doing. So I usually, when it comes to new games, I go through the setup and I set everything up and I start playing and read along with the rule book on how to do everything. That results in a lot of hunting for answers because maybe I'm skipping over certain things, which was the case in here. And I also allowed something to confuse me, and I'm only putting this in this review in case maybe you have the same situation. Something that confused me in the game, and it was these stats here on the character board. I understand that this is basically to, I guess, tell you what level you are for each of these. And what threw me off was, maybe one of the first things that threw me off is because I am a D&D player, so I'm thinking, oh, I need to, these are modifiers. I got to add them to something. But that's not actually the case. And I was confused by the fact that, okay, each character has a total of 9. Well, thought that was kind of weird because, the 6-sided die. However, certain symbols on the die are doubles, 2 different symbols on there. And then, have to remember that you have to add in the crit. The crit is a success for anything you roll. So if you add that to each one of these numbers do actually come out to exactly how many of these successes will be on your die. So there is a purpose to this as far as pulling your characters and deciding, well, do I want to be stronger in my might or do I want to be strong in my cunning? So that sort. So I let that throw me off because I couldn't find an explanation for this in the rule book. That was actually the only thing in the rules that I couldn't find. Like I said, I let a bad review kind of give me a negative taste at first, but I pushed on. I did actually try to watch a video on how to play at one point, and then that was even more confusing. Maybe the guy's accent just threw me off. I don't know. But as I just got determined to go through the book and find everything I needed, actually, it was all there. And it's all pretty simple. The game's not difficult at all, and pretty much everything is explained there. There might be 1 or 2 things that are a little bit confusing, but for the most part, by slowing myself down and just sitting through it, actually reading everything, even little side paragraphs here and there, yeah, everything's there. Easy instructions, actually really good on this. All right, so we'll get into the setup and the how to play. I should note that whenever I do how to play, I'm covering basics so that I can give you a 3-4 minute jump into how to play this game. There's always more to these games than what I explained, but this is the very basics and it can get you started. So yeah, here we go.
Setup. Set the board within reach of all players. Shuffle the items deck and place face down on the items spot of the board. Shuffle the boss cards and place one face down on the boss spot. Place the others back in the box. Shuffle the location's clear cards and place one face down on each of the locations. Shuffle the downtown cards and draw 4 to place as a deck face down on top of the location clear card in the downtown spot. Repeat this process for the other 4 locations. Shuffle the QZ cards for your player count and place one on the east and one on the west face down. The rest of the QZ cards can go back in the box. Shuffle the camp cards according to your player count and place one face down at each location. Shuffle decks for Stash Items 1 and Stash Items 2 separately and make a deck of 4 cards for each marked location. Shuffle the boss tokens face down and stack them beside the board. Place threat tokens on the board as instructed by the rules. Place the crafted items, upgraded weapons, and special ability decks in their place. Place the survivor calendar marker on day 1 and the infected calendar marker on the X. Each player chooses a character board and takes the corresponding die and token. Place a cube on the 14 of your health track and place cubes over the 3 spaces in your character flaws. Decide who will carry which of the starting weapons, then add cubes for the starting durability and capacity spaces. Be sure to keep cubes, ammo dice, and hit dice within reach of all players. Now you're ready to play. How to play. The game begins with a prelude in the quarantine zone. Set the player tokens in the center of the QZ and flip over the east and west cards. Players can decide to go in either direction, whether as a group or separate. Players must then accept any bonuses and penalties for the direction they chose. After this round, each round will be tracked as a day, split between travel and actions. Travel is optional, as you may wish to stay in an area to clear out all threats. Some threat tokens may even block your route to move on. When you arrive at a new location, turn over the camp card. Actions can be accomplished as a group or individually. A player may choose to remain at camp for the day, which may give options to heal or scavenge. The explore action may be taken as an individual or as a group. When exploring is done as a group, one player takes the lead and flips over the chapter card. Some chapter cards will lead to a skill check, while others will lead to combat. Once the chapter card is completed, a search action offers a chance to gain new intel and items, and the card is discarded and the threat token is removed. If their path is not blocked, the players may decide to head for a new location and another day passes. However, if players remain to clear the location, they receive new bonuses. If the chapter card calls for combat, it will show 2 arrays of chapter dice to be laid out, 1 array for an individual and 1 array for a group. Combat consists of a series of mini rounds until the threat is defeated or a character dies. Some chapter cards will give the ability to listen or sneak for advantage, but there is also risk involved. Melee combat uses the character dice, and each player rolls, hoping to land on a symbol that matches one of the chapter dice. When they match, the chapter die is removed. However, after the characters have completed a roll, the threat returns an attack of the same type, if applicable. Players who didn't roll a shield take damage as listed on the chapter card. Ranged weapon attacks use ammo dice, and the player rolls the amount of ammo dice according to the rate of fire listed on their weapon card. Not all threats have ranged attacks, but those that do return fire using the hit dice. Players can also combine their dice rolls to eliminate chapter dice with 2 symbols. A crit will remove any single die. When the players finally make it to the boss location, boss tokens will be revealed, adding more dice for you to defeat in the end. To win the game, you must reach the boss and defeat them before the 2 calendar markers meet.
Alright, so for cost and availability, usually it looks like it's between 60 and 70 bucks to get your hands on this. And it is available on Amazon, which means availability is high. But of course, there's lots of great game companies that are carrying it out there. Maybe with the relaunch of the series, the video game, and also the new season of the series, maybe game stores will start putting it out there more too as well. So definitely check your local game store first. But yeah, since it's available on Amazon, we got to call it good availability. As far as a value for that goes, it's going to depend on your taste. I like it. Like I said, I think that everything in here is a nice quality. I played it a couple times, and I'm going to keep playing it. So 60 bucks, that's worth it to me. As far as expansions go, there aren't necessarily expansions for the game. However, there was a Kickstarter release originally for this game, and so you can find all the extras that came with the Kickstarter out there somewhere. You can find the full sets that come with everything. It has everything from like play mats to organizers. I think there's some miniatures even. So yeah, cool stuff that you can find if you know how to track it down. But yeah, as far as standard expansions at this moment, nothing yet. So as for my final thoughts on the game, like I said, I kind of allowed myself to, get tripped up over a bad review. One that I read on Board Game Geek, and the person really had a lot of issues with it. Even complained about the rule book, which is why when I first started looking for stuff in there, I started getting angry, thinking I'm not going to like this game, and this guy was probably right. And you know what? The guy wasn't right. I found everything eventually when I just kind of chilled out and read through everything instead of being in such a hurry to start playing. So yeah, once I started thinking about things and thinking about how the dice work and everything according to the stats on the board there, that's all. It's pretty simple to figure out. And other things, this seemed like in the review that I read was a person who really loved the video game. And of course, the artwork in this is of course highly different. It's a different feel. I'm okay with that. You know what? Think about if you ever had like a favorite band who changed lead singers and it just didn't feel like that band anymore. But if they had just renamed themselves something else, then you would have been like, yeah, this band is great. But it's the fact that you have this name associated with it that made you kind of not like it. I kind of feel like this is how it's going to be for a lot of people who are diehard fans of the video game. They're going to immediately go, I don't like it. If they just named it something else. So if you can get the game and just put yourself into the idea that this is a zombie apocalypse, and that's it. It's a pretty fun game. Of course, it's a dice game, so yeah, luck is involved. But that being said, it's really fun. I've played it a couple times. I've gotten all the way through towards the end to the boss, and got my ass handed to me both times that I played it. But that's good. That just means that there's more challenge to come. And I played with 2 characters, so I'm gonna have to try playing it with more than 2. But yeah, so like I said, I find this to be pretty fun. Again, open world? No, it's not open world. It's probably closer to a dungeon crawler than it is to any kind of open world. But yeah, travel point A to point B and fight monsters. Sounds like a dungeon crawler to me. But it is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. So you're gonna have to judge for yourself, but my personal opinion, cool game. Like I said, I'm gonna keep playing it, but I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on this. So let me know, have you played this game and what are your thoughts? I get it, like if you don't feel like it's anything like the video game, I'm not sure that it's supposed to be. Do you like the Escape the Dark games? Are you into those? Like I said, I haven't actually played Castle or Sector yet, so let me know. Have you played those and do you recommend them? That's going to be it for now, and until next time, get out there and roll some dice.
Hey gamers, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. It's one of the things I know that I can count on with the gaming community at large. This is of course to the point where I gotta ask you to like it, hit that subscribe button, and maybe share this with a friend. If you are a game designer, or maybe starting your own gaming company, and you want to do a little bit of cross promotion, maybe you got a prototype that you want me to check out and talk about on the show, definitely let me know. And of course, for all questions, suggestions, and corrections, there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of me. Probably the easiest one is just comment below. You can also send me an email at jackofallgamestt@gmail.com. The T stands for tabletop. And if you'd like to take a look at my commissioned miniature paint jobs, or even some of the other stuff in my life like photography or tattooing, which is what I do for my day job, go check it out on Instagram at Art of Wallace. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.